It's recording.
It's recording? Okay.
Okay. So what are we talking about?
Hi guys. It's been 1 year since we left Perth. So we thought we'd do a rewind of the whole year that has passed. And we're going to share with you bits and pieces of what we have done.
By rewind, she means we're just going to record a video for you.
So 1 year ago, we left Perth. Perth is where we are based. 1 year ago, we left with our 3 suitcases. So 1 suitcase each, 1 extra one for our extra gear like camping stuff, some working stuff for Sam, and then 1 backpack each. So basically 5 bags, we left Perth. We packed up our house. We had about 6 boxes left that we were able...
Small boxes it was.
Yeah, and we were able to store that in my cousin's house. So thank you very much for storing that for us.
So we went to Adelaide first to see my family. Saw my grandma and my uncle and some extended family there.
Hi, Grandma.
Hi there, how are you, dear?
Good, how are you?
That was good fun. And then we flew to Sydney and caught up with some more of my family there and some friends. And it was kind of like a goodbye, see you later type trip.
We spent about 2.5 weeks doing Adelaide and Sydney. So mid-September would be then when we flew out to Los Angeles. So we had a one-way ticket from Sydney to LA. It was a great flight. It was an A380. It was very powerful, very comfortable.
And very full as well, if I remember correctly. We didn't have any spare seats around us.
We got to LA and 3 days of jet lag just took up our 3 days. I think we only spent 4 days there. On the 4th day, we picked up a car and then we headed to Walmart to get some supplies, some camping supplies.
So we set ourselves a budget of $100 to get our supplies.
That included the bed,
the cooking stuff, no pillows. I think that's about it.
So we got the Dodge, guys. It's like a minivan, like seriously. We're just stopping for some lunch, maybe at the Black Bear Diner. We just got off the freeway.
So everything we owned, we put into the car. That was our suitcases and our backpacks. And we drove east out of Los Angeles through the crazy traffic on the wrong side of the road in our brand new minivan.
Massive minivan compared to like what we're used to. So we did a whole month, went through a lot of dry desert, so towards Arizona. And then we went into the Grand Canyon. So then continuing on from the Grand Canyon, we saw a lot more canyons after that as well. then we headed out to San Francisco. Weather along the way for that whole month was perfect. After San Francisco, we headed south back towards Los Angeles after our month, and we had to return the car then. And then we flew LA to Vancouver. We got into Vancouver, got through immigration, no problems at all. None of all that stressful stuff that we thought was going to happen happened. It was smooth sailing. Within about 20 minutes, we were out of there.
When we arrived in Vancouver, we tried a couple of different places to live. We tried living downtown, but it was crazy busy and just noisy all through the night. And we tried living out further in Burnaby, which is a residential and industrial suburb. And that's where we actually found a room in a share house with Conrad. Hi, Conrad. And it's fantastic. We have our own ensuite bathroom, and it's really convenient to the train back into downtown. So we're about 20 minutes on the train to the centre of Vancouver.
So within the first, 3 weeks, we were able to move into something more permanent, which helped out a lot. We have met a few people who is travelling that have been hopping around hostels, and that has been hard for them. So we have been very fortunate in that sense. So then first week after we moved in, we decided to go for a walk. It was quite dark that night. We walked out. It was raining. We had our raincoats on. After about 40-minute walk, decided to go home, and
yeah, we got hit by a car. So that wasn't much fun. We quickly learned how the hospital system and ambulance and fire engines all come to emergencies. So that was an interesting experience. Glad that's over.
So the week after that was Halloween, which meant that because we had injuries, it was quite visible, it was superficial, which meant we didn't actually have to dress up for Halloween. It was already done. Anyway, 2 days later, after the accident, Sam actually had to fly out to Ireland for a job, and I was very worried about him because he had a mild concussion.
No, I didn't. I was fine. Don't know what you're talking about.
And I was insisting that he didn't go, but apparently it would have been a good distraction for him. So how did you feel?
It was fine. I got on the plane, I slept. It was all good.
I stayed back in Vancouver and healed and explore a bit more around the place. So the weather started getting more cold past Halloween. It was into November, into December. We decided that it was way too cold, and we thought we might pay our friend a visit, a friend that we have from Australia. He used to work with me, Jack. So we paid him a visit in Victoria. Jack. And that was a lot of fun. We spent 2 nights there. Mm-hmm. After that, it was getting even more cold, so we decided on another trip. We this time went down to Club Med in Cancun, which is in Mexico. Sometime in December, we actually met a wonderful lady, Hannah. You and your family generously took us in and believed that understood that we didn't have family here for Christmas. Hannah, you are also an Australian. Garrett, thank you very much for inviting us to your family dinner for Christmas. So we spent Christmas Eve with Hannah and her family.
So on Christmas Day, we had an orphans Christmas lunch. So it was a Facebook group set up with people living in Vancouver that didn't have family here. So we all brought a plate. I spent hours cooking a delicious meal to share. And we went to somebody's apartment, small apartment with 20 people, and had a fantastic lunch. It was good fun.
It was a lot of fun. And then New Year came around, and I must say I enjoy New Year's in Australia way more than I did here. And the reason was because it was freezing. So we went out New Year's Eve and had a good dinner. We went out later so we could stay out later. But we had 40 minutes to wait until midnight. And that was just way too cold to wait around, and just waiting around for midnight to strike, it wasn't worth it. So basically we went home before midnight came around.
Yeah, I think we might have been in bed by midnight, if I'm not mistaken.
So that was the end of our last year. In January, I landed a job with a startup company in Vancouver. That was very exciting. I've never worked for a startup before. It was fantastic. I was a customer success representative. Sam, you were very in and learning all the ropes of the AV industry within Vancouver.
That's right. So I was still working as a freelancer, doing audiovisual and project management for events. So it was lots of fun getting in and around the teams here in Vancouver and learning the strange things about the events industry here, like the voltage for power is different. Everything is measured in feet instead of meters. So it's been a learning curve, but good fun. Thanks to everyone who's helped me get connected in the industry here.
February came around and Sam was able to get a contract to actually go home to Perth to work for 2 weeks. So I decided to go with Sam, and we had great fun back in Perth for 2 weeks.
In the middle of summer, 40 degrees. It was great.
It was a great break from Vancouver. When we got back from Australia, I was lucky enough to be offered another job with a rescue association in Vancouver itself. So I took up that job because everybody knows that I really love working with animals. As it started warming up and the rain kind of stopped, we decided to take a road trip east of Vancouver towards Osoyoos.
That's right.
So the
Okanagan area.
Okanagan Valley. It's beautiful. It was fun. But one morning that we camped, it snowed in the morning.
So we wondered why it was so cold in the car. And we quickly worked out that it was snowing outside.
Then summer officially started and my parents came to visit. We did a lot of activities with them. We went down to Seattle with them. We went to a Mariners game with them. And between you and me, maybe bring a book next time you go watch a baseball game.
Yeah.
We also went up to Whistler. That was fun. We did the peak-to-peak gondola. That was really good as well. After my parents left, we then, maybe a couple of weeks later, we decided to go to the Calgary Stampede. We drove through the Canadian Rockies, and that was beautiful.
So Banff and Jasper, fantastic, but freezing cold and raining as well.
There was a few times where we had to go to Lake Louise. There was a lot of people. It was very touristy. If you needed to go before 7:45 a.m. because otherwise don't even bother. There is no parking whatsoever. You know what? This is how Sam does things. This is how I take a photo of Sam. And this is how Sam takes a photo of me. So that brings us to last week. Sam flew into Whitehorse, which is the Yukon Territory in Canada, to meet up with his parents who flew into Alaska the week before. So Jane and Grant and Sam then did the top of the world highway across back into Anchorage to meet up with me yesterday. And that brings us to today. And we are currently in Alaska. So 1 year on and we're still traveling. It has been fantastic. Thanks, guys. It's been a great year.
Bye. Is it dinner time now?
Must be. Dinner time?
Yeah.
Didn't we have a buffet at lunch?
I'm hungry again.
Again?
Yeah.
Story of my life, guys.
Hurry up, cook dinner.
What do you feel like eating? Nachos?
Oh,
You're like king of nachos.